Hi, this is Allison, and this is my individual artifact summary for week 2. This week has been a little overwhelming for me. I was definitely not prepared to have to come up with my research topic yet and kind of work through some of my research questions, and I wish I would have been a little bit more prepared for class to start. I'm not quite sure what I could have done before we got 609 started, but I just feel like I'm kind of ill prepared right now. So, and while I'm not 100% sure of my direction with my research right now, it has been highly beneficial to have conversations with my advisor, with both of our professors, coworkers at school, my group members, and to be able to see and read other groups' posts just to see what everybody is kind of working on. It has allowed me to gain some insight into the research project, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better about where I'm headed. So I'm becoming slightly more confident in the direction. I definitely like how class is set up to allow us to ask questions about our tasks, and then that they're going to let us work through the different aspects of the research process, and they're using scaffolding to teach us these parts so that we're not kind of thrown to the wolves and just made to start the research process. I've never been formally taught how to research, so most of this information is highly new to me. So some of my Chapter 2 insights was definitely just learning the 5 different elements and how to introduce a statement of the problem. I was introduced for the first time some of the different writing strategies for quantitative and qualitative research, and that was something that I really was struggling to just try to figure out the differences between the two, and one of our professors really cleared it up in our discussion when she let us know that you don't necessarily need to choose between doing either quantitative or qualitative research unless you're doing a thesis paper. So if you're doing a creative project like myself, that you would come across using both quantitative and qualitative, and that made a lot more sense as I thought about what my plan was for my research. It was really important from Chapter 2 to note that not all problems can be researched. And I think that was definitely new for me in understanding. I just assumed that you could have just picked any old topic and that you would have been able to research it. And the most beneficial thing that I think I took out of Chapter 2 was the sample statement of the problem found on page 73. I really enjoyed how they worked through all of the different features, and I think that's going to be really beneficial to me as I'm writing my statement of the problem. For Chapter 3, my insights obviously definitely was taking away the 5-step process and to create a literature review. I've never created a literature review before. I don't even know if before getting into my master's if I'd ever even read a literature review. So just seeing how those aspects come together to create it was really beneficial. I definitely learned once again more about quantitative and qualitative research. Something that really stood out to me from Chapter 3 was just learning that textbooks or books are just not as considered as valuable research in comparison with journal articles. I guess I'd never really thought of a hierarchy of resources, and so I definitely know that my number one goal is to be able to find as many journal articles as I can to make the best resources. Something that I'm really excited about and I think is going to be really beneficial for myself is just learning about the different types of literature maps. I've always struggled to try and keep my notes organized and things like that, so I think the use of a literature map and writing abstracts for my sources is going to help me become a better research writer and note taker. And I really enjoyed learning more about the ERIC database. I've heard of it before, but I have never used it extensively, so it was nice that the textbook gave us a pretty good resource to help us find some good information. So that is kind of my Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 insights. Thank you for watching and have a good night.